Welcome back, YouTube. MTG Joe here. Today we are going to be playing. I got some time. Want to jam some ladder. We're almost mythic, but really enjoying Boros Energy right now in Historic. There's a lot of events this coming month, just in terms of the qualifier weekend, as well as metagame challenge next weekend. So you can see when I started playing Boros Energy, the line's been pretty significant. In best of one, I'm 21-3 with the deck, at least tracked. 5-0 in best of 3, have a 7-0 historic run. Been playing this a lot on like my iPad as well. I think I've only lost like 3, maybe 4 times cumulative between best of 1 and best of 3. So really liking this deck. There is quite a few ways to kind of build the deck. So that's one of the things that I want to test out a little bit more and see how we want to kind of build it out a little bit further. So the best of 1 version is slightly different. We have Lightning Helix main. We also are not running the Soul Warden package. Instead, we're just doing, or like Voice of the Blessed, we're doing Esper Sentinel instead. So a little bit different configuration. The format tends to be a little bit more aggressive. Best of 3, I wanted a little bit more grind elements. But the core of the deck, you're using like energy enablers like Unstable Amulet to draw you cards, Amped Raptor for free value. Guide of Souls gets you life and energy with this version between Guide of Souls, Soul Warden. A lot of ways to kind of get value, get a very big Voice of the Blessed. The big thing we want to see as we kind of go, there seems to be a little bit more uptick in control from what I've seen from other streams. So we might want to reconfigure our sideboard. Mainly Invasion of Bobacan, and then maybe switch some number of Leonin Vanguard, which is probably the worst creature in the deck. Just meets a couple conditions of being a cat. It's also gains you life, which is nice with Ocelot's Pride if you can't necessarily attack in. So Esper Sentinel would be kind of the swap that I would look in this case here. The mana base is pretty straightforward. 2 Prismatic Vistas, you got the plains, mountains kind of mixed into there. I got rid of the Sokazan. I found that you don't want too many just red cards because you have a lot of white cards that you want to double spell, as well as Voice of the Blessed. To be honest, I can see the configuration even being like this, to be honest. You really don't need too many red cards in the deck itself. I think I'm actually going to try out like this. Because I've been hurt a little bit more. I have one flex spot that I've tried a couple different things in this deck. We've tried Inti, we've tried Helix main, Goblin Bombardment. I liked it. It's good in the mirror because you could control their board. There's a lot of incidental tokens you make against control. You just kind of nullify their removal. And then it gives you a way to flip ajani on your own. Basically sack the token whenever you want. Flip ajani. The sideboard right now, this pops up. So we'll go to see. No, just not letting me show. Okay. Authority of the Consoles for the mirror or for wizards, just another way to gain life, slow down haste. Fragment Realities removal. Static Prison is another copy. Sithing Needle for activated abilities, 1 ring. Goblin Bombardment. The Rakdos Goblin Bombardment deck's pretty tough. This is a way to kind of shut that down. And the Festivities for the mirror. Sun Cleanser, weird card, but for his second ability, enters the battlefield. Opponent loses all counters. Energies are counters, so it's a way to kind of shut that off. And then you also, they can't get any new energy. So a lot of their removal, Static Prison, there's Galvanic Discharge. So if they don't have a reserve, they can't kill it in response. Lightning Helix, just as a removal spell for the mirror. And Licensors, I want a Graveyard Hate. And then Meltdown for the artifact decks. Meltdown, we really haven't seen too many artifact decks, so I think we can maybe trim on this as potential sideboard cut. This list, Luigi Mate, an Italian streamer on Twitch. I was working a lot on the best of 1 version of the deck. I know he looked at my deck a bit. He built the best of 3 version. He's been doing very well, like 85+% win rate in best of 3, top 100 mythic. So I'm kind of playing off his best of 3's main board. Our sideboard, we have different stuff based on preference. But in the mirror, I've had the Sun Cleanser. Pretty much like just opponent conceded after that. There is a version of this deck as well that is not playing Lurrus and instead playing Flage. So like the god, the Boros god. God. It just doesn't come up. Some of the new spelling. Oh, it's because I have Lurrus. Yeah. Flage. So this is a good in the kind of the grindier matchups. Now the thing is, Divine Purge still gets it. So it's not like be all end all, where like sweeper stuff, but it's kind of a resilient threat. It helps in the mirror at times as well. So something we want to consider. Do we still want to go Lurrus? Lurrus is a cat, which is kind of nice. But we'll jam some games, see how it goes, and see if we want to make any changes. So I'm a few wins from Mythic. Haven't been playing. We've been drafting a lot. Modern Horizons, like for me being Platinum, is quite a bit of drafting. So we'll see how this goes. Store. Again, more concerned with fine tuning. If I want to play in any of the qualifier events, stuff like that, it's really just taking this time to practice and see. But we shall go. And let me just fix my mic setup. How's everybody doing today? I finally cracked some paper. Modern Horizons, got some crazy, got the special alt art Ulamog, I got an Emrakul, I got full art Ral, I got 3 fetches in a bundle. That was really sweet. Didn't get any ajanis. I want to build the Boros deck in paper for Modern. Hey Anders, how's it going? We're live on Twitch, by the way. You'll see the chat just above my head. But try to find some opponents, get some audio going here. Alright. Kibs Skibs. Opponent goes first. So generally speaking, the hands you want are something like this. Guide of Souls, Soul Warden kind of mixed into there. So we'll keep this. Looks like the mirror. So the thing is, Soul Warden's better into like Ocelot's Pride. So I think we do this. They will get an attack in, but then we get the triggers. This could force them to use a removal. This is a better card, all things considered. Okay, well, they just got Pride Tron. So they're going to get the City's Blessing very quickly here. If that's the case, a couple different options here. I could go Amped Raptor to try to find some removal. I could try to get a Pride of my own. I think we do that. This also lets us try to remove a copy here. Guide of Souls. Until they could get something with flying, it's not too significant. If we could find a Goblin Bombardment or our own Ocelots, it could be good. Okay, going to second main. No life gain here, which is nice for us. So likely that they have a removal spell. Okay, they go Galvanic here. Try to find an Ocelot's Pride of our own. A Ajani would be nice. Okay. Whole lot of souls here. I think we're okay doing one here. So if they take their whole turn, what do they have? Felia. So Felia could blink something. Okay, so they are the Flage version. That's what I was curious. So this will be a good kind of test to see what works, what doesn't. They could blink my Amped Raptor. I think we're doing this. I do want Felia off. It gets more cards in the grave for Flage. Hey, Voice of the Blessed is a nice one. So I could get Unstable Amulet going. Okay. Interesting. Since they're on the Flage version, I do want Helix and the Festivities, Sun Cleanser, Static Prison, bring in all this, and Sometimes I like Helix. So usually what I cut, let's just add it in and then we'll figure out the cuts. The Voice of the Blessed is good in this matchup. Trim 1 Ajani, 2 Unstable Amulets, and the Festivities is good for the mirror. Soul Warren's good. Leonin's probably like one of the worst, so we'll cut that. This is kind of a mirror breaker because it can go over the top. I'll answer chat in a sec. I just want to do the sideboarding. I think we cut down on Amulet here. We saw that game, like, didn't really have a great chance to do the actual Amulet stuff. I do kind of want all that. Fragment is good. Ocelot's good. Do you want the static? Probably just one hearse. So sweeper decks, the thing is this deck's pretty good at building a board without overcommitting. So you have bombardments, you have Ajanis that you can flip to pressure them. And then you also can go with, that's it, like there hasn't been too many of the like dedicated sweepers. There's a video if you look at the best of one where I beat 3 sweepers out of gates just by kind of playing a medium game. Okay, so that's a fine hit for that. They gain some life, or some energy. They're gonna pump. So they do pump there. I think this turn, we have a couple options here. So I could just Sun Cleanser right now. Take some off energy. Might be fine, because they don't have the mana to respond. I do want to kind of hit one more land. If we can hit one more line, then I could go like Voice into that. If not, we'll go Guide into Soul Warden. So they're going to gain some life. It's fine. Okay, so we just find our Soul Wardens here. I think we're just doing this. Again, next turn. They're not really making much progress. Like I said, most of my games in best of 3 have been kind of like the mirror, so I'm just waiting to see. I'd like to play it more to see. That's why I'm thinking Invasion of Gobakan is kind of the fix. Jeez. This game does not want to give us an additional land. Again, they're not putting like huge amounts of pressure on us. My guess is their hand's a bunch of like awkward removal. My Voice of the Blessed will get 5 counters next turn. And then I can kind of... I do want to practice more with the deck. So that's partially why I'm running. I also want to see, like, for the mirror, how things are. They might kill their own thing here. So that flips a Johnny. And then they can kill the Sun Cleanser. Now they get the energy. So their removal's back online now. So we saw what like Sun Cleanser can do there. We just really got stuck on mana here, which kind of sucks. Yeah, we do have Galvanic, so I do want to use this on Ajani. I guess I should have taken this out. It's worse if they have like another Ajani, but I probably should have taken out the cat and then attacked. Yeah, I really enjoy like, because it's like an aggro deck at times, but it could be controlling. It gives you a lot of play. So they remove that. This game, I think, is largely going to come down to the fact we've been stuck on 2 lands. We've never had a chance to kind of double spell the way I wanted. Yeah. So they got prison here. Lux. Let's see what they have here. It's probably over, but again, we just... Too many turns. They found enough to kind of interact. I can't really block this point, so too many turns. I don't like the Aether Hub in the mana base. I think it's a bit awkward. Probably get rid of that. Probably just want... I don't think I want the other amulet, but I'll play the Ajani. Again, like... Opponent was able to double spell multiple times. We were double spelling, but not really coming ahead. Alright, we'll keep this hand. I think we put back Festivities here. Or maybe not. We put a Johnny back? Or Amped? Yeah, Sun Cleanser's cool. It kind of stops a lot of what they're doing. So like here now, a lot of their removal gets nullified. And they can't Helix it. It just becomes difficult to deal with. Guide of Souls. Guide of Souls doesn't do anything. It's great. Go Amped here, try to find something. So, presenting a couple different options. They could have the Flage. Bombardment is nice. Gonna main phase this. Felia. I guess Felia blinks this, so it gives them an option to kind of build some energy. I could... So let this happen. This is another card that could be played. Interesting to see how they all kind of come together. Let's see what they do here. I think this comes down. Target opponent loses all counters. They probably have a response for this. So this comes... So I'm going to kill ajani here. Yeah, ajani's really sweet. So they do get to build the energy here. Pariah is a bit annoying. I think what we do here, kill this. Take action, ajani comes down. Then we make a token. And then we kill Pariah here. So we're stabilizing. We really hope one of these isn't the god. All right. We do need some sort of energy enabler. It's a nice one. They're at 6 cards, so they could almost get their god back. And then we still have access to Lurrus if we need it. So static prison. They target static prison, that's fine. They will start being able to fly, which is a bit annoying. Let's see if they pay. I think I do this. Nah, maybe not. Because now they can't pay the static prison. And like I'm gaining a bunch of life, so I don't really care about that. See what we draw first, and then I'll put Lurrus to hand. So we did hit Galvanic, but I think we're just doing Lurrus to hand. And then this is where like the Lurrus factor comes in. They spent too much of their energy. And now they die. So they needed to keep one turn there. Otherwise, they kind of just get there. So we really saw what like Sun Cleanser could do in this matchup, just kind of resetting their mana. I think a second Sun Cleanser could be reasonable. I just kind of played into that. So for those who just came, the deck we're on is Boros Energy. So we are on the Goblin Bombardment, couple copies in the main, couple static prisons. We always want to hit one of these in the mirror. We never want to hit 2. So that's something just to kind of consider. The card we've been talking about for the Mirror Sun Cleanser, very powerful. I've really been enjoying that. I think just the prevalence of artifacts, I would rather play the second Sun Cleanser. Like, the matchup's going to be quite prevalent, so having access to 2 is going to be quite good. Trying to see if we can hit Mythic, but really just want to do some testing and making sure that the matchup, all things considered, is pretty tight. We should expect to see a lot of energy mirrors. That version was playing the bigger version with Flage and Felia, the Blink Dog. We're going a little bit lower. We are going to be able to start looping Lurruses, which is good. But we shall see. Play another match, see how it plays out. How's everybody doing today? Play first. I'm going to keep this hand. It's one land, but it's a very strong one land. So they mulled a bit. I'm gonna go Soul Warden first. Like, this is a better card, so if they have removal, I want them to remove it before. Again, top of our deck, we just really want a land. If we hit a land here, we're very happy. It's a mirror. We didn't hit a land. Land would have been great. There was a contemplation of killing this, but now we kind of forced their hand to kill our pride. Might have been right to still do that. Because if we could get bombardment going, it's very strong. And I kind of need to kill an Ajani on this board. The mono green deck still seems pretty strong, all things considered. It could struggle at times, but you could still go over the top. It's just like you're swarming the board. Look at the card Contagion Engine for your sideboard. Okay, so they double spelled there, which was powerful. We need to get our double spell on. They want to use all their energy here. I'm happy. Thank you. I think we're gonna lead the cat this turn. Nah, it's probably Guide Us Souls and just hold up Galvanic. Or we can guide. Just kind of go wide. I bet mono green in a best of 3, but the game they won was with yeah, I gotta kill this ocelot. Actually, I could just go Goblin Bombardment and then shoot a cat at it. So they go another discharge here. I think in this context, they should probably be going after my Soul Warden. With the cats, I'm going to be gaining more life. So I could Soul Warden here. I guess I just wait to see what they do. Like, it's bad if they have a Johnny. Getting this going earlier is better, so let's just play this. Yeah, I can see Mindslaver being powerful. Okay, so we see the Aether Hub. So notably, they might be on the bigger version with Flage. We kept kind of greedy. I maybe was a little too, let's say, ambitious. They haven't gained life yet. So we'll kill this. So they are on the bigger version with Fable. I haven't been able to see any of our payoff cards just yet. Guide us Souls and Soul Warden. May have to static discharge the Guide us Souls this turn. We got, like, it's just been a really weird game. Yeah, the energy control one's pretty interesting with the Wrath because it hits your artifacts too, where like the Divine Purge doesn't hit bombardment. So we have the discharge that I can use on Guide us Souls here. If they go with that. They also kept their hand. They have ajani. Let's see what they do here. Okay, so they get a treasure. We probably lost this one. So they put the counters there. I do think I have to block like this. And we've been at a really weird kind of game in this one. We've seen so many Soul Wardens and no kind of effects kind of benefit from it. And the opponents just hit a little bit better in terms of their residual effects. They can Helix here. Let's just go to the next game. Just didn't see enough. They're gonna start having. So we have the Sun Cleansers, we have End the Festivities. They're on the Fable version, so we might not want Festivities. The Authority of the Consoles is fine, Fragment's fine, Static's fine. If they're on Fable, they're also on Flage, but we'll start with this, see where we want to be. The Leonins are pretty bad. We saw that. I do think we trim 1 Bombardment. We trim 2 Unstable. Did we see Ocelot out of them? We did. But we could probably get rid of Authority of the Consoles in this one. Let's run it like that. Hey, Matthew. It's mirrors all day. You just gotta find the way to break the mirror. Kind of what this format's coming down to. I don't know. The one thing I would say about this, there's so many different ways to build this deck, which is kind of a fun puzzle. You have your kind of core pieces, but from there, it's how do you build around the edges. How's your testing going? We'll fetch here for our other planes, and then we'll go Amped Raptor. Hopefully don't cascade into removal. It's not the best. Really wanted to see a Voice of the Blessed. We've yet to see one. Even like a Ajani there is really nice. Depending what they play out here, it could either be Static Prison or Lurrus to hand. And notably, when you cast this, this is only from hand for the ability. A little bit better hit for them. I think we're just Lurrusing to hand. I don't want these prisons right now. I want to be more proactive. Yeah, the bombardment's really sweet. I really been liking the bombardment in the shell. Fable. So I think we do this. We do this. Now I'm going to let this one go to the graveyard, and then my Lurrus can bring it back. I didn't actually think of Null Drifter in that context. It's not an artifact, so you can't tutor Karn, but I guess it's pretty decent top end. But it's 7, so it comes out of Storm the Festival. But I feel like you draw enough cards with the deck. Okay, so if they Helix my Amped Raptor, I just sack mine and then kill theirs, so we get some value there. Seen very little payoff. Okay, so Ajani comes down. We're definitely gonna want to kill Ajani. Okay, so you're that one. So we're gonna take, decline. I can actually just Static Prison. Ah, this is interesting. So they kill that. Because the thing is, I need a life gain enabler. But I can just get rid of the cat token here. And that lets me loop. Use it instead of Storm. Yeah, that's interesting. Because it gives you main. The only thing is, like with Storm, you get the value of milling over. Whereas if Mull Drifter, you can't get back necessarily. Unless you... like, it's definitely something worth trying. It's just like there's pros and cons, I think, in either case. Yeah, no, that's the whole point. The format's still new. That's why, like, even just testing all this stuff is reasonable. I wonder if you can get away with almost like a Beans-ish deck with just like the ramp. Because you could use Divine Purge early. Deals 3 damage to each creature and each planeswalker. Sure. So you decline. Take action. No life gainer. This has just been a really weird game. I was thinking of like helixing them, but if they play a threat, I want to have an answer to it. Give me a creature. Give me a creature. Pride here. Okay, so we have a couple options. We're probably going to have to helix this. I'm going to wait to second main. And now we'll kill this. Naya energy control could be. So we're seeing what bombardment could do in this match. I'm still trying to figure out in the end how many unstable amulets. I think we might need to go up to more copies. Like a lot of this has been trying to like stay alive. Like we have a lot of removal, but we need to have a way to refill. And I think that's one of the better ways. I wonder if their cards Surge of Salvation. Jeez. I need a creature to keep these going. I might give him the Ocelot's Pride back, to be honest. Okay, so decline. Take action. Just pass the turn here. Sting. So I'll probably block with the Guide of Souls. My only concern with like this is getting to the requisite mana. So here... sack like this. I might need this for something bigger. They went face in this case because they finally learned to stop targeting my creatures. Can I have a creature, please? Thank you. I'm gonna go for the attack here first. They've held something in hand for a while. It could just be another land that they're trying to make me guess. I think I killed the Guide of Souls there. We're really just trying to keep this Fable off the battlefield. So they static prison here. think we let this go because it puts a constraint on their mana. Like, or their energy, that they have to do something here. If they were closer to dead, maybe. Hey, Shido, thank you. Appreciate it. We are testing out different versions of Boros. So they're going to get that back, which is another Fable, which is annoying. Okay, Johnny's sick here. So I can do this. Flip a Johnny. So Johnny does 3 here. So I can do 3 to the face. I have 3 with Helix, and then 3 creatures. So it's lethal. Give me a sec, I'll answer chat. Let me just bombard them. This card's one of the Mirror Breakers, Sun Cleanser. So the second part of its ability, target opponent loses all counters. Energy are counters. That player can't get counters for as long as Sun Cleanser remains on the battlefield. So it makes Static Prison and Galvanic Discharge kind of lose their effect. And then Bombardment is another good Mirror Breaker. We are just trying the 1 just to see how it kind of plays out. Helix, I think, is important, but I want to find a way to fit an additional amulet in. It's what do I cut in place of it? So we do have a lot of removal. So I think we can forego a Helix here. I think we're okay like that. Because I really like the Bombardment out of the deck. I don't want 2 in this because it's a little hard post-forward. Bombardment and Johnny's a sick combo. You just get to like decide either I want an Ajani now, or if they try to remove your Ajani, then you can play kind of a fun little game. Okay, can we have a better hand for once? This is a better hand. Just keep like this. Guide of Souls. Let's see if they have the removal here. Okay. Baiting out Helix there is nice. The question here, I think we just preemptively do this because it shuts them off of like a lot of effects. Yeah, myself too. I've been liking Historic a lot. So we won't take a block because they're on the Lightning Helix plan. They look like they're on my main board. I do think we set up the Bombardment Ocelot's Pride this turn. Maybe not. Maybe not. I could unstable here. You know what? I think we just do this. No, nothing against Ugin Chalice yet. So they can discard a couple cards here. So they brought an Invasion of Gobukan, which I don't think is a card you want in this matchup. They did show Brotherhood's End, but if they're willing to Brotherhood's End this board, I'm fine, I think. Like, I'll pull up what I've been playing against recently after this game. It's been a lot of Boros mirrors. Played against... The deck I'm most scared of is the Rakdos Goblin Bombardment deck. They have a really, like, not easy way, but a reasonable way to kind of beat up on the deck. This is an interesting line. I do think I try to do this. If they try to kill my Ajani, that's fine. This could just be Helix. So I guess static works then, it exiles, then you get the energy. So that's something to note with Sun Cleanser, the timing on that. And they had Flage, so they had a very good last 3 cards in hand. 2 cards in the library only, but we need some action. It's a bit problematic. Okay, so I can get rid of the static. Let's see what we hit with Amulet first. I could also get rid of the Guide of Souls. So I can get rid of static. Static resets them. Maybe we just do this. Get rid of Guide of Souls. Just have another removal spell. They just had it all. It could be, but a lot of your spells are 2. I think given this, we get this back. And then just Lurrus to hand. Got 4 cards, really 3. They can cycle Canyon. Flage is going to be annoying. I do think they boarded poorly. I don't think Invasion of Gobukan is where you want to be. They also don't have the mana to cast that, which is nice. Okay, so Amped Raptor is nice. Sick. Okay, so this goes face. And then we get the Ajani. And then that gets rid of Fable. I do need to be mindful of this static prison, but if I could try to get the static prison to kind of interact at a time where... Okay, so they have the land, they do get it. So that's something I need to be mindful of. Got him. Too much. Too much. Too much. Sick. I am trying to think, like, in this matchup, like, Flage is a bit cumbersome. I do think we need to be on the 3, so it's like our sideboarding. So I'll pull up the deck for folks. Let's see what we get. Blood Splatter. open up to suggestions for sideboard. Might be that we go down in a nacatl. It's kind of the weakest card in the deck. Like, up for a sec. So like in best of 1, I'm 21-3. I'm 7-0 in best of 3 right now with it. We've played Boros Energy 3 times. I played Wizards, I played Rakdos Bombardment, and Mono Green. So all kind of things to look at there. The Sun Cleanser was very good. So let's try trimming on the Vanguard. We go up the static prison. That clears us out of a static prison here. I could go up like another static, but I don't think we necessarily want another card for this matchup. I could look at Jolt Awake. Kind of like that is just a way to kind of rebuy Lurrus. We can also look at just like another fragment, which could be fine. We have needles for bombardments. Return creature. Return X target creatures of mana value 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield. Just for like heavier removal matchups, maybe? I don't hate that. Like if we look at that matchup, right? Like we're 1-for-1ing a lot. Now notably this can't get Lurrus back, but it gets back all our other spells. So if we're trading 1-for-1, Requisition Raid could be also interesting because he hits the artifact. I think we're okay for the mirror. Against like control, they're usually on Divine Purge, but now they're on that Energy Wrath as well in some cases. So it could be fine against like One Ring. Let's try this. I'm willing to just try out different things in the sideboard, to be honest, to see what works, what doesn't. I think Meltdown, if artifact decks become more prevalent, then we'll take on that. The Lightning Helix is interesting. It's good versus Wizards, but if we're not seeing much Wizards, I don't think we need to worry about it as much. Target opponent loses all counters. Target creatures. Remove all counters to target creature. Can't have counters put on it as long as... Okay. So it's not a way. I'm just seeing if that has other uses for like planeswalkers or stuff. One I wanted to check. There was one other player that was playing a lot of the deck, so I wanted to see. That's fine. I'll check later. I do want to play against control, ideally. I just want to see how that matchup plays. Like I said, I could see us playing Invasion of Gobokan. Because I actually don't think the artifact deck is a bad matchup even without the meltdowns. Because like realistically, we just outgain them on life. So it's likely the mirror. We go first. So we can play this. So mirror here. I mean, we're gonna get a lot of practice versus the mirror. I don't think we're at the point where like jumping ahead makes sense. So they go amped here. What they hit. Okay, so they're on the Sorin version, the Mardu version. We have a couple options here. I think we get Monument going. So Bombardment for the following turn. I think we're fine here. I'm not going to attack this turn. The Rakdos Goblin Bombardment deck that just has a bunch of ways to get recursive creatures. They could just machine gun your board. So like similar how we've been using the Goblin Bombardment in our matchups, it's just that it's much more effective at what it's doing. Because they can get back that 1-drop for like black mana each time. Take. This is an interesting line, because like I could just Galvanic, I could try to draw a card here. Okay, so realistically, I'm gonna get another energy, so that brings me to 4, so I have enough to pay, but I'm kind of reliant on it being a creature, so I think we just wait this turn. Because I can always do it on end step if needed. That's the matchup I'm like most worried. I could see the new version. There's a Jeskai energy control deck that seems pretty rough. So here we have the ability to both hold up Galvanic Discharge. If they try to kill any of our threats, I can shoot them with Bombardment and clear their board. So we have some utility there. Okay, so they're also on Bombardment. So if that's the case, I want to get the energy now. So they're playing Sorin and Bombardment, which is a little aggressive, I would say. So they have the option here that they can shoot one of my things. So we'll go at our turn. Voice of the Bless is fantastic. So I think we lead on this. They don't have energy for the monument. And then this gains me some energy. If they try to kill it in response... This is actually interesting. So let me see what we draw here. So we did hit Galvanic. So with the Galvanic, because I want them to use the energy so they don't get the effect here. But then that voids mine. This is an interesting line. Hey, Nick Ducks, how's it going? I was actually just trying to look at your list to see the sideboard. Because I shoot here. If I do this, then they just shoot in response and kill. Still do this. So they're going to take out my Soul Warden most likely. But that voids it. I know you've been playing a lot, Niktox. Have you run into control at all? Oh, I missed the damage there. Damn it. Sorry, I was stalking. Ocelots. Lurrus to hand. I think we get this running as long as we can. And then I can Lurrus to hand. I probably Lurrus to hand this turn. And then just kind of go from there. Did you get priority? They can get an Ocelot's Pride back. So Lurrus comes down. Hopefully they go Amped Raptor and not realize that they don't get the Cascade from Amped Raptor. Okay. So we're going to do this. I know that they can sack it and kill one of my things. But then I kill the Ocelot's Pride. I guess the downside here... I missed another damage there. I'm just not playing. Yeah, Giant and Fable. Seems reasonable as well. So they didn't play a spell, which suggests to me... Okay, so I missed 2 points of damage. Can't really afford Sorin to flip. See what your last card is? No effect. So give them back that. It's their land. Midas Souls. So what do I care? What's Sorin's flip? Any target. So that's decline. Take action. So we'll kind of go from this point. Really just want another creature. Might have been right to hold Lurrus for the turn, but then I give him both of those back. I really just wanted an untapped land there. Would have been really good. Are you finding the bigger version better, Nictus? We have more white spells in the deck. Ocelot's Pride. So I can attack in and then shoot him with the Ocelot's Pride, which seems okay. So it ended up coming to bite me that I couldn't do that line. I think we do this. They want to trade their board. I'm fine with doing that. No, I just asked which version of the deck you find better. The Lurrus version or the giant version? We just bet the giant version twice. Hey. Let's go. Got him. Got him. Okay, Sun Cleanser. Let's try the new tech. I just want to see how that plays out. They're on the Sorin version. They're on Bombardment. I don't want a Needle Bombardment. Helix. Fine. They show Ocelots. Did. But they're not on the smaller stuff. Trim one amulet. I don't think we need Helix. I guess Helix is a clean answer, where static can be a little bad. Static we get back though. I think we run it like that. Giant version, interesting. I gotta give that one a shot then. Because like this card's really bad. The Leonin whatever. Leonin Vanguard. No one drop, but too skilled at this game. Sun Cleanser them. Alright. Well, we keep winning. Want to miss a second line drop decides I want to go home, which is always fun. Hey, Dimmerance. How's it going? So, we're getting there. think we're 8-0 with this in best of 3 right now. What are we? Yeah, 8-0 in best of 3, 21-3 in best of 1, at least tracked, and then another 7-0 in the historic event. Some things we're trying. We got the double bombardment main. Went down on a Leonin Vanguard in the main to bring the static discharge in. Trying out return to the ranks as an option for the grindier matchups. You kind of get your stuff back, get big voices. We could drop Lurrus, play a couple of the bigger ones, but I want to try this out a little bit more, see, play it till we lose type thing. Just trying to think of other ways to get card advantage, but I think this is probably the best. Anybody else playing anything different or exciting in Historic? We got metagame challenge next week, I think, and then qualifiers are going to be also at the same, or in July, being Historic. Give it a go. See what we can do with this one. I really like this deck. And I feel like it's got a lot of different lines. Sequencing matters a lot, just in terms of like when you push, when you don't, how you pay your energy. Sun Cleanser has been doing well. I don't know where everyone in Historic's been. We lost them. We lost them. So either it's going to pair us up against someone Mythic or someone Platinum, probably. Alright, found an opponent. What are we playing? I don't know, just a diamond. Fellow Diamond Andy. Opponent's on the play. Not great, but I'll give it a shot. This may be blue-white control. We asked for it. Drawing all lands is not where we want to be. I have not tried it with Ruby Collector. I've liked it with a couple Vanguards because it's a way to trigger the life gain and also be another cat. But I would probably just go to Esper Sentinel if like control gets more popular. Because my concern with the Ruby Collector, it rewards you heavily when you're ahead, but it doesn't play the best when you're behind. Okay, so we got Purged here. So we'll see how this match goes. What we do want is like the Goblin Bombardments in this matchup. So they did miss. I could just go Amped Raptor here, get some more energy. I could go Ajani and then cycle. Let's try that. We've hit a lot of lines, so... Callum. So we do want likely then Unlicensed Hearse. Try to find that bombardment. Because in bombardment, I would have been able to flip a Johnny at that point. I'm drawing second purge. So the one thing, like with purge, it does buy us time, so they do need a way to kind of. Yeah, I have the Esper Sentinel in my Besta 1 version. I think I might be going back to it if we see more control. Like, they're spinning their wheels a bit. They could have another Kalim, but if I could flip ajani, it's nice. Okay, so they have Emperor. They have... Try to kill Emperor here. Notably, this is non-token, but they could have Prismatic Ending. Or March. Try to get voice going. Just thin out the deck a bit more. So we've gone Divine Purge 3 times. They could make a token here, gets my voice bigger, but then they could follow it up with another Wandering Emperor. They do have Snapcaster in layaway, so they could Snapcaster the March of Otherworldly Light. Potentially discard something. They do the token. Like, I'm just going to keep recasting this stuff. It gets more expensive, but we have some utility there. So this will be good. Like, I want to see how this matchup plays out and then kind of learn from it. Because Divine Purge is very difficult for us to work through. They also have the ability to just make a token with that. So they plus there. Let's thin out here. And they could have Snapcaster. Amulet. Amulet's definitely nice. So if I do this, I probably do this. I want to kind of tap them on mana. I do think it's important to... So they deluge here. The reason I did this attack is if I just attack with one, they had the option to castle Ardenvale to block, and then they could exile this. I want to make this a threat that they have to consider. Okay, so they have Get Lost. Okay, so we have Soul Warden there. They could Divine Purge here. So I think we just do this. Because they could Snapcaster Divine Purge with the land. And then we kind of lose out on that. see what they do here. I like having this Soul Warden because if they did sweep, then I have some value. We do have to be mindful of Farewell, though. You have Leonin, so you're 4. So I want to save you. Just builds up some more energy. Because this all does incidental damage to them as well. Just going to continue forcing. If they fare well here, they fare well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Because if I draw another land, then I can play out everything. I guess I could do this, but I lost out on the life. Gets me another energy, and it gets me a ping of damage. Probably fine. They could have another Deluge here. They could have another Emperor. Okay, second main Emperor. Make a token, or... Hey, Austin, thank you. It's going well. We haven't lost yet. We're finally playing Control, which I'm interested to see how it plays out. So this looks like Emperor plus now Divine Purge come in. They could snap Divine Purge, which gets them some value. Yeah, they're just going to fare well. Probably worse than the Purge, because we lose out on those effects, but... Make a token. The Galvanic is very strong. So they left my graveyard here with you costing 4. So I could have access to the Lurrus. I can kill this. Seems good. And then static this. So play out Amped. I think we just wait. They're kind of forced to go into... So I do this. I haven't seen anything in Historic. I've seen it in Timeless. There's like a Simic version that's using like Bristly Bill kind of as a combo. And here I think I'm just going to try to force. Okay, so a little bit wrong there. I should have sequenced different. them getting to hit me with a No More Lies here is pretty rough. No zero equipment kind of hurts. You still have cord and stuff, but decline. So that's like 5. I do want to force their hand. See what they do here. Let that go. I think they're just gonna memory deluge here. They fragment. So that actually... Oh no, they have still enough. They've exiled quite a bit of my deck. Still have 1 basic. Callum here. Snap. Fragment. I don't want to get him to just go snap Divine Purge. So do I force the Ajani? Probably. Yeah, Arc Scavenger was 1. I don't know how good Teamer is just mana-wise. In Timeless, because you could fetch, it's easier to splash. There's still some element of RNG with the combo there. So we've shown the grind in this deck. So far, we've gotten Farewell, Divine Purge 3 times, Wandering Emperor twice. So this is likely a sweeper here. So again, they can use Snapcaster to Divine Purge. But like each instance of Divine Purge, I get some value back. And I'm just really trying to slow roll this Lurrus. So they purge here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 mana. So you're 7 mana. I'm saving this to get back the Static Prison to get rid of Kalim. I know I can get countered here, but we just have to play it out as though they don't. They're also out of Divine Purges, so 4 Divine Purges. Still have a basic. Not like terribly worried about the fairy. Could have Kalim. They do have access to Snapcaster. maybe shouldn't have attacked with that, because if they have Wandering Emperor, that's fine. Let's see what they do here. So I'm doing this because I don't want to hit lands. So smart. So I could Static Prison to Fairy. I guess they just get lost it or something. They could snap March, which gets them an extra value. Maybe I shouldn't have played that. Pass turn here. Snapcaster does cost 6 here. Opponent's at 18, so clock bit in our favor. You have Leonin. You have Second Relic. See what we get. I'll take an Ajani. Oh, they can farewell here. I'm dumb. They're gonna set up the Snapcaster farewell. One, two. Shouldn't have played the other monument. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So they do have Kalim in hand. So if that's the case, I do have to play this Vanguard out. Then they'll get to ferry back. Okay, well, if they do farewell here, they don't get Kalim. So I guess the question, do I play this ocelot? Probably, just because I get 2 more points of damage, which could be relevant in this game. Two, three, four, five, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay, so they had another snap here. Snap does farewell. Got rid of graveyards. Yeah, I shouldn't have played the second one. And I shouldn't have hit to fairy. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight. Both of these can be countered. So we have fragment. Probably lost this, but we're going to try to run him down on time now. We're at 15. They still got to kill us. And they've lost their Kalims now. At least the ones that were there. And then I'm going to gain a bunch of life still. Bombardment would be reasonable. Pull the land. Like, we still have bombardment. We've drawn half our lands in our deck, yet only one Sunbaked Canyon. Static Prison could be reasonable. Gives us some time against the Teferi. Bombardment could be reasonable. We have two Amped Raptors. We have Voice of the Blessed. We have Ajani's left. But they're at 14, so... it'll take them a while to kill us. They purge again. Guess they can start exiling, but again, it would be some amount of effort. March. Hey, Quantum. Going well. We are in a contested battle. Just trying to run down their clock. Take as many game actions as possible. We still have some Galvanics. We have all four. So Galvanic, we can kill Teferi. We've been Divine Purged 4 times. We've been Farewelled twice. We've been Wandering Emperor twice. Limbed 3 times. So 40 life. We've gained so much life that it's given us a bit. Yeah, the new Boros God is really good at closing out the game quickly. What do we got? What do we got? What do we got? 3 steps ahead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Fortunately, we're off from being able to, so let's just play out our lands. I mean, I think we have to try to Lurrus and then play Bombardment. They have another counter. This just buys us another turn. Yeah, I could see Jeskai being very strong. I think, want to try that out after. They're also at 19 cards. We're at 19 cards. They're at 12 minutes clock. We're at 19. Okay, Hall does speed up a bit. But they still need to answer our board. Ah, they're on Karn. So this is good because we're seeing more of their deck as well. Every one of these... Sunfall. I don't know, I always find Lotus to be... Like, it really depends on what you draw. And we probably lost this, but we're going to try to win the long game. Just let them make decisions. Just reset to Fairy. Alright, they deluge. Hey, Capella. You know what? I probably had lethal just going face. I didn't even realize what their life total was at. Yeah, no, you're right. I completely forgot what their life total was at. They're just gonna get Pithing Needle. Cosmo Elixir. Sure. Again, I'm gonna go clock damage on them. They're playing Karn and they're just not playing like reasonable ways. I guess they could animate one of these, start chipping in. But they're playing like none of this stuff with Karn has done anything. My stuff already costs like 10 million. We'll do this one more turn, but I kind of feel like just giving them the Teferi so they take more game actions. Snapcaster Mage. I cast Fragment Reality. Okay. We have almost 10 minutes more than them on clock. So we're just going to keep trying to grind here. Got 14 cards. I do think I'm going to give him Teferi back. They like taking game actions unnecessarily, so... So we'll kill this. Potentially, they could have counter spells, but again. Let them do all this. That's 15. 13. Just try to waste as much time as possible. Couple seconds off here, couple seconds off there. There's potentially a line, but I was trying to control the Teferi. Yeah, they had this game for a while, but we took off like an extra 3-4 minutes, which I think was fine. I think the line, I forgot about the Farewell in the Graveyard. That kind of got us. This matchup, it's a lot of Exile. This is where I was a little concerned. They do have Karn. They do have Divine Purge. So let's play one Hearse. I think we just take out Static Prison. Static Prison could be interesting though, because like I don't know if they bring in more stuff. Probably just bring in the Helix. Call it like that. We just want to slow the game down. I do think we want invasions though. Just I don't know though. They did have 3 purges in like the top little bit of the deck. We do this. Let's see what they do here. I am perfectly content with that. Because even if they purge here, it's fine, because I can just flip ajani and get ajani going. Yeah, I think that's fine. Like, sure. Johnny. So we do this. Pay 1. Then get ajani. Flip ajani. I guess I don't have any red permanents. So maybe I should have just plus there. I forgot that they got rid of my thing. Purged. Just keep putting pressure on them. This is actually kind of good that the game's going a bit longer. Okay, so they could get Pithing Needle here. Oh, they're just gonna get nothing. I forgot about that. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, 8. Cool. Cool. That works. So probably more of the same. I don't think we want Meltdown. Could bring in Needle, but it's the problem is with a lot of this stuff, it's like really temperamental. So I do think we need some better cards versus control. We've overboarded, and this is just not good against control. So I think this needs to be something versus control. And I think we trim on like the Meltdown for something else versus control. Maybe just get rid of End Festivities. We're overboarding anyways. So I think these two need to be control cards. Hey Finn, it's going well. We've been having some good games with Boros. How about yourself? Ajani's sick. Ajani's like the best card in the deck. All right. How many Raptors is too many Raptors? Lies. Okay. To me, that suggests that they potentially don't have the Purge. This is interesting. I think we go with Johnny here. Just because if they do have the Purge, then I can untap with Raptor. And then get 2 for 1 that way. And kind of go from there. So Nick, I kept running into, like, I never ran into aggressive decks. Or, sorry, control. So I had cut it because we were running into a lot of the mirror, but I do want invasion back. I think that's what we need for the matchup. We get something better than just, like, Soul Wardens every time. Be really cool. Really cool. So they can animate that. Go Amulet. I could go Voice. This flying. They could have removal, but want to kind of get them to commit. Because we could see Farewell next turn. They'll be a bit telegraphed. If they attack, then they have Farewell. Karn. Can't activate Amulet just yet. Could ajani. So I did that because I wanted to make sure that died so I can activate my amulet. So how do we want to kill here? Lurrus to hand, do this, attack in. This is going to start gaining them life. This lets me get some value, so it's probably do this. Gonna decline here. Just do Lurrus to hand. They're kind of priced into having a sweeper here, so I don't want to commit more to the board. We're not really doing much with Farewell at this point. I guess I could have played this, because it also would have got rid of the amulet, which could have been good. So land here. Leonin. Do you think we try to draw a card here? Soul Warden, and that's probably the line. Just try to present lethal. Or like present the clock. At the very least, this gains us some life to try to slow their board down. They got Hall, they got Karn. Karn will present another threat that we have to be mindful of. Do like ocelot here. Okay, so you two go into Karn. You go here. Put some damage here. Now we got City Blessing. We're just going to keep playing slow with Lurrus. Lurrus is our break in case of emergency. We definitely do want the invasions, though. Don't think we need to play that. because like we're losing. We're not going to get enough energy to do a second activation. Put it on the cat. The reason being they've shown fragment reality, and fragment can't target a token. Down. Got him! How about that? Let's make that change though. I think we want fragment. I'm good to concede to artifact decks, I think. There's just not been many, if any, that I've seen, and we have enough tools, I think, to just beat them up like the regular way. But I do think we want some more tools versus control. We said get rid of Meltdown, get return, or no, end the festivities. Turn to the ranks. So we do want Meltdown. Invasion. Thank you. Couple of invasions. Sun Cleanser's been really good. We haven't seen much wizards. I still do like authority, but maybe it's just invasion. Like we got a lot of options versus them. Maybe it's just one hearse and then play the invasion, because we can't really board more than one person here. I'm also wondering, instead of hearse, what's it called? Exile Graveyard. A 1-mana artifact. Relic. Target player exiles a card from their graveyard. So this doesn't allow us to target, which isn't what we want. And then that exiles all graveyards, so it's not what we want. It's probably not where we want to be. We can go Aldrin then. Could be interesting, but probably not. I do like having access to one graveyard hate. And we don't want to do Rest in Peace. What's the other? Dranith. Your opponent can't cast spells from anywhere other than their hand. This like low-key interesting. So what do we... They can't cast spells. So I wanted repeatable. Soul Guide's only once. So Soul Guide's good to do like a burst, but it's not great for sustained. Where Hearse you could kind of pick. So I'm thinking against Wizards, you could do a big one, but I want to just continually attack their graveyard. So what does this hit? Can't cast spells. So against the mirror, it stops Raptor and it stops Amulet. Yogg, they're not casting, they're putting into play, so this doesn't stop Yogg. Control doesn't really do much. I guess it stops Flashback Memory Deluge, but that's not like a huge thing on its own. Interesting. I think this is where we're going to leave off. We're now, I think, what are we at with the deck? 9-0 with the deck. So I like where we stand. We got to play control, which was good. Game 1, I probably punted that control matchup too. Just, yeah, I mentioned Soul Guide, Zachary. What I wanted was something that repeatedly targets the graveyard. So, like, always, like every turn we could pick at what we want instead of just a bulk, like, exile everything in that respect. Yeah, I don't think it does enough. If it was 4 toughness, if it was even like a 0-4, what makes Sun Cleanser? And I think we're good in the mirror. We've proven, like, we've bet the mirror, like, I think 5 or 6-0 against the mirror. What am I against the mirror? Let's say I'm 4-0 because one was the Mardu version, which is probably much worse. I think this is fine. Like, you could play Get Lost instead of Fragment, but I like having the 1 mana. Authority is just like the last card to maybe come out, but I think this configuration is pretty solid, all things considered. And I like the main board. Again, the only other card that likely doesn't see a home. Like, we can go down 1 bombardment and then get rid of this and play Esper Sentinel. That would be like the only other cut, I would think. Just because Sentinel provides us more utility in the control mirrors and then or control matchups. It even taxes in the mirror because it makes some of their non-creatures. The deck's still quite dense in terms of non-creature spells between like Static Prisons, Galvanics, your bombardments, amulets, stuff like that, kind of mixed in. But I'm going to call it for a stream. Thanks everyone for hanging out. I'm going to go eat some lunch.